going on, everybody? I'm back at y'all with another video, and the topic of today's video is going to be the announcement that Conor versus Dustin Poirier 3, the trilogy, the wrap-up for the trilogy, has just been confirmed for July 10th. Dustin Poirier has just signed the contract. As we already know, Conor McGregor had already been signed the contract, but they were just waiting on Dustin to get the numbers right and to pay the man, quote unquote. So for this video, I'm going to be breaking down my estimation for the pay-per-view numbers. I'm going to be breaking down how I think the fight is going to play out, how long I think the fight is going to play out, who I think has to make the most adjustments in order to come out with the dub, possibly who I see could be on the undercard, and is what's going on with Justin Gaethje. The people are talking about, there are whispers of him being at the backup and him getting ready to step in case something COVID related or an injury happens as a backup for McGregor or Poirier. So to start it off, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the first fight, starting at the first fight, the rematch that just happened a couple months ago, I think did estimated 1.3 million. So I have the wrap up for the trilogy, and that really, even though of course it had a little bit of marketing, it didn't have a massive marketing like movement behind it. So I see this one having like a lot of marketing behind it because obviously Conor got knocked out for the first time in his career. Dustin Poirier's star power has been elevated to a new height. And overall, the sport is just continuing to grow. So I see this this fight doing an estimated, in my opinion, 1.5 to 2 million pay-per-views because Conor is coming back with a vengeance. As we see, he's bringing the old Conor back. He's still the respectful dude or whatever when it comes to Poirier. But overall, he's talking his shit again. He's walking the billionaire walk, and he's doing all the old shit, all the old ghost shit that he used to do. And Dustin Poirier, no slouch either. He's going back to talking his shit. Like, obviously not to Conor because there's still that respect. But just in general, you see him on Twitter going back and forth with people talking about Michael Chandler, Nate Diaz, and the likes of, Khabib and stuff like that. So anyway, of course, talking about the fight itself, this is going to be a striking war. In my opinion, I don't see this fight making it out of 3 to 4 rounds, but just because of the pacing of both gentlemen and their styles, I do see it being the winners in a win either by knockout or stoppage, in my opinion, unless Dustin Poirier tries to do what he sort of attempted to do in the second fight, which was grapple with Conor, but we saw Conor really made him eat those shoulder shots, shoulder blows to the face, and Dustin Poirier obviously retaliated. So but even though Dustin admitted that Conor was getting the best of him with that, so I'm not sure if Dustin's gonna engage like that, if he's gonna try to grapple, or if he's just gonna try to straight outright wrestle Conor. So we might see an attempted submission by Poirier. Who knows? Depending on how gassed he can get Conor. So that's gonna be interesting too, because obviously Poirier is he's definitely the stronger fighter when it comes to the ground game in that part of the fight. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he attempts that or if he attempts it with conviction. So that's sort of the underlying question for me, because if he can gas Conor in 2, if he can sort of wind Conor in 2, I definitely see him going for an attempted takedown with some conviction in rounds 3 or 4. So when it comes to the adjustments, just to go down the list, I do think that Conor obviously has to make the most adjustments. Obviously, he lost the fight, but he won the first round before he got knocked down in the second. However, obviously, he needs to learn how to make adjustments to correct the calf kick. In my opinion, I would say that he should go back to his karate stance. He sort of had adopted more of a boxing stance, which the weight distribution is placed more heavily on the lead leg. And I think he should go back to that karate kickboxing type stance. And obviously, I do think Conor is going to have to make the most mental adjustments because he did lose the fight. So he's just going to have to come in, and obviously he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. However, I don't think he should be overeager, and I think how his mentality is coming to the fight will play overall the biggest role in the outcome of the fight. Because if he comes in with something to prove, maybe he overextends, maybe he gets a little bit too aggressive and he gets caught. However, if he comes in scared, obviously it's going to give Dustin Poirier the confidence he needs to tee off on him, which I really don't see happening, because the only person that ever really tee off on Conor was Nate Diaz, and obviously nobody has confidence like Nate Diaz besides Conor himself. So it's going to be interesting to see the mentalities of both fighters going in. And with the undercard of this fight, this is going to tie into the reason why I think this could do possibly around 2 million pay-per-view buys, is because if you guys remember, Francis Ngannou was talking about trying to fight in the summer because he's just the new crown heavyweight champion, and obviously the UFC is heavily marketing him. And depending on if they get the John Jones fight signed, is that would John would still probably require, like, 10 to 12 weeks as for a fight camp. However, we know Derek Lewis, he'll take whatever they throw at him. So potentially we could see the Lewis Ngannou rematch as Ngannou's first title defense if they don't get the numbers right for John Jones. Or Jan Blachowicz was talking about moving up to heavyweight to fight John Jones too, so we don't know. But the reason why I said the undercard could also be a big factor into what determines how well this card does is because without a really crazy solid undercard, the rematch between Poirier and McGregor did like 1.3 million, right? So it only goes to show that if it had a better undercard with maybe some of the trending fighters right now, maybe we see a Hamza on the undercard, maybe we see a Kevin Holland fight, since he's fought like a bunch this year. Maybe we see a Justin Gaethje fight if Justin Gaethje doesn't end up fighting on the if he doesn't end up fighting as a backup confirmed, then he could just end up fighting maybe it's like Islam, even though I doubt they would really fight each other because they're both under Ali. Maybe we do see Islam fight somebody else. Maybe we see Gilbert Burns coming. Maybe we see not Tony Ferguson. Maybe we see Kobe Covington come in. There are a lot of the stars right now that aren't tied up. Definitely have some potential matchups that could be placed on the undercard, and anybody and any former champion would want to be on the McGregor card because they get pay-per-view points, they get pay-per-view percentage. So there's that too. And last but not least, I had sort of touched on it earlier about the potential of Justin Gaethje being a backup fighter. The rumors are whispers that he's going to be the backup in case, they get injured or some COVID-related happens. So like I was saying earlier in the video, that could be very interesting too. And I wonder if Conor would agree to that or Dustin would agree to that. Obviously, Dustin would because he's already beaten Justin Gaethje. And I honestly think it's a win-win because hopefully if Justin Gaethje were to have to come in as a backup, I'd hope Conor or Dustin would beat him. Because imagine, because Justin Gaethje, he's managed by Ali too. So could you imagine if Conor slept Justin Gaethje and he called out Khabib or he called out Islam or whoever? Like, that would just be super dope to me. But anyway, guys, this is the wrap-up for the video. This is the wrap-up for, the announcement, Conor versus Dustin 3. It is booked and signed and set in stone for July 10th. Comment down below what you guys think of it, what you guys think is going to happen. Do you guys think my prediction is off for how I think the fight's going to go and how I estimate the pay-per-view numbers are going to go? So yeah, comment, like, and share down below. And if you have not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It means the world to me. And for the best MMA content on the YouTube, subscribe to your boy. Once again, subscribe and hit the notifications and comment down below what you think of Conor Dustin 3 being set in stone. And I will catch y'all boys on the next one. Ciao.